Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming here and listening to our story, our actual journey. Before I start, how many of you are ServiceNow and Juniper customers? If you can raise your hand. So you have a great story. You can leverage the platform to the fullest extent, both the platforms. That's what we're going to talk today. And the title says Future of Networking. It's not actually, we are on the future now. We already done a lot of integrations. One of the things we do at ServiceNow is anytime we bring in a new technology, the first thing we look at is how integrated it is with our platform so that we can actually do more with the same platform. With that, so my name is Venkat Lakshminarayanan. I'm part of ServiceNow. I've been with ServiceNow for 5.5 years, went through the entire transformation journey. Now I'm responsible for our internal ITX deployment. That is all our ServiceNow deployment internally. I'm responsible for that as well. And with that, I have Sajeev, who owns all the engineering and operations. And then I have Satish, who heads our networking team. With that, so today's agenda is very simple, right? We started off, hey, we need to transform this whole infrastructure. We used to have at least one PO every day. Something will break. Or a VP will call and say, I can't connect to the wireless, it gets dropped. And then the network team will check and say, oh, everything is fine. Like the video you saw, the light is on, right? But actually, it's not working. So we said, OK, we need to come up with a strategy. How do we transform this hyper-growth company that we need to have a scalable, secure, and simple network? And then what are the challenges we faced? And then how we transformed that with Juniper, and then the business outcomes. And we also have some use cases. And Satish is going to give an actual demo of how we automated the firmware upgrade of APs with zero touch. So I talked about 3.0 strategy. So we came up with this strategy. Sometimes when you look at it, it's not true, right? There will be outages. Things will break. Circuits fail. The boxes will fail. And there are incidents will happen. So what we did is let's look for a North Star. Say zero outages. We wanted to build a network. Things can fail, but our users cannot see it. So we put, instead of usually being in infrastructure for a very long time, you always think about, hey, how redundant I can build. But we did a paradigm shift. We said, we're going to put user experience first. How can we provide the user experience? Then start building behind the scenes. So we built zero outages. We are not there yet, but we are getting there. And then zero incidents. We don't want our customers or our end users to call us and say, I cannot connect to this. I can't access SAP. I can't do this. We want to be able to predict and prevent and heal. So we are at predict and prevention state right now, but we are working towards self-healing. So what we are doing is, if we need to do that, we need to bring all the telemetry. We talked about all the signals. So we said, are we going to do everything on our platform? Or are we going to partner somebody like Juniper to actually leverage their AI along with our AI and bring all the telemetry, and so that we can predict and heal? And then zero physical, that's a zero. ServiceNow being a SaaS company, we thought building a data center or even a colo takes a long time. We cannot actually match the growth of the business. So we said we're going to shut down all the data centers. So last year, we ended up shutting all the data centers. Everything is on either SaaS or we are IaaS running on public cloud. And then we said, OK, we already knocked down 1.0. What do we do? We went to zero trust. And so we added another zero. That is where Juniper plays a big role for us to be able to actually have a zero trust network. With that, I will pass on to Saji to take us over.
Thank you, Venkat. So some of the world's largest organizations, banks, governments, they all use ServiceNow. They look at us to be the digital transformation leader. And for us, and with our leadership, thinking about, OK, we want to be the force driving the digital transformation. And as part of that, we also want to be the enterprise that wants to become $16 billion in revenue. How do we get there? So the work has to start from the home, right? So the strategy, the 3.0 strategy, which was coined back in 2018, was precisely put to use to deliver that, right? Which is, let's go and address our issues first, and then we can take that learning and transform or help transform the other organizations, right? So looking at that, network plays a key role, and with all the other elements in the infrastructure, whether we are reducing the data center, moving to the cloud, increasing the velocity so that the organization can move faster. We are not in the business of building data center. We are in the business of building the best software that helps organizations run the business. So we said, okay, we need to go address the network. But very typical, like every organization has this going on, right? Multiple vendors, high cost of managing it, zero visibility. You depend on multiple vendors' roadmap, and then you decide, okay, what is my roadmap? Some of them will come through, some of them won't come through, and then eventually what it is going to do is that it's going to actually kill your roadmap and your plans. So, and if we want to be the best organization with the best revenue, the best software that customers like you use, our user base has to be super productive. So user experience was absolutely on top of our mind. So how do we do this, right? We've been super lucky that we found Mist, and we've been using their wireless technology, and we said, okay, we need a vendor that is going to come together and tackle and solve the other areas of the networking for us. And we didn't have to look too far, and we chose Juniper and Mist AI solution to help us with that. So we said, okay, if we want to fix this, we want to build the network of the future. Whether it has to be AI-driven, the visibility has to be sorted out, the user experience has to be absolutely the top, agenda item on our list, and we need to be overall reducing the spend of the network. Because we're going to be scaling so much as an enterprise that we can't be having an expensive network that we want to operate, right? So for us, we found Juniper, and it was the best decision that we made. We all know that when COVID came and the work from home kicked in, it was one of the most transformative time for the networking industry. Everything shifted from the enterprise, and then the users moved to home. The entire data usage exploded. It was, and your whole remote work infrastructure had to be kind of coming along with it. It was a phenomenal time. So we actually used that opportunity to do the transformation on our end. Right, 13 months with Juniper's capability of doing zero-touch, automated deployments, simplified stack. We were able to do this entire phase one, which is the whole hardware transformation part, completely remotely. There was hardly anybody that traveled to any location besides rack and stack and those type of activity. We completely did it zero-touch. Right? The journey doesn't stop from there. We are now headed into the next set of phases. This is where we are basically connecting the platforms together. We are bringing the integration into play. We are using the AI to the core. And we are going to essentially get to the place where we want to be able to see the things end to end. We also use the term client to cloud, which is taken from the Juniper side, which is we want to exactly see what is the user experience from the client, which is the laptop, all the way to the application that they're accessing, whether it is Zoom, whether it's any other application that they use in the enterprise. So that's where we are headed. So as we got done with the phase one, you see the numbers, right? We not just use this to just simply switch a networking vendor as we wanted to address the user experience. We wanted to build the network of the next generation. We said, okay, let's go and transform a bunch of other things. So people coming back from home, everybody was very used to this whole concept of wireless. We said, okay, why do we need wires? We don't need wired networking in the office, right? We completely got rid of wired networking in the entire global location at ServiceNow, right? And that helped us cut the whole OpEx and the whole CapEx that we had to invest significantly. Our carbon footprint, with our closets with multiple racks, filled with switches, completely shrunk down to literally half a rack. right? So significant improvement. We were also able to drive a significant savings because we switched over to Juniper from another incumbent vendor, right? So where are we headed? What is the end state? What is the end game for this whole thing, right? We want to have the visibility client to cloud. We want to give the opportunity for users and operators to do a lot of things themselves. Don't call the help desk. Do not wait for the network engineer to fix your problem. You will get the power to do a lot of things yourself. So this is, and obviously generative AI, conversational AI, all those sort of things will be put to use to deliver this, right? Now, we know that there is a lot of data out there. Every vendor has data, every endpoint has data, every application has data. But how do we bring this whole thing together? So as part of a Now and Now program, which is ServiceNow internally using ServiceNow's platform to deliver a new solution, we are building a concept called network workspace. Right? This is where we're going to bring the entire data, integration, the self-service, all of those capabilities under a single roof, right? As you see, very simplified view, user interaction layer, which is going to be in the form of a portal or a workspace. There is going to be the platform layer, which is obviously the ServiceNow platform, and there is going to be integration layer. We do a bunch of things. Juniper enables a lot of things, but there are a lot of other elements that we do not have, so we tap into other platforms to get that capability. Right? Now, where is this all expected to land us? We want the user experience to be absolutely 5-star. Right? If you look at from the far, where we are, before this whole transformation of the network started. And once we completed the phase 1, we are now on a single stack environment getting that network visibility end to end. That is not where it is going to end, right? We're supposed to go from client all the way to the cloud. So our journey, when we conclude the phase 4, our goal is that the users are not calling the help desk. Users have the capability to do a lot of things themselves, and we have the visibility end to end, all the way from the user's laptop to the application that the user is accessing. Okay. So now that I have talked much about it, I think Satish is going to give you an idea about some of the things that we are working as part of the next phases. So Satish, over to you.
Thank you, Sajid. So Sajid talked about network transformation, like how we have done ServiceNow, right? So we have done a lot of integration between ServiceNow platform and the Juniper Mist platform, right? So combining these two great platforms, so we are delivering a lot of things and simplifying overall network operations, right? So let's talk about some of the use cases. So we are doing the ticket creation. That's pretty much like for any network engineer, right, in the part of the operations, how to handle. We have automated the entire process, creating incident tickets and closing automatically for all the Marvis actions. Whatever Marvis action says that, okay, there's a problem with the bad cable or some disconnects or DHCP errors, DNS, all the stuff. So it automatically creates incident ticket and try to solve the problem and resolve the ticket automatically. So we've done some of the cool stuff there. Plus, the firmware upgrades. So this is the most important thing and part of every network engineer, right? So traditionally, I think we all know, so doing a firmware upgrade, it was never easy. It was more complex, like SAP, move the TFTP, all the stuff, right? Then do MD5 checks, very complex thing. Mist simplified the entire process, right? Just a few clicks, the upgrades is done. At ServiceNow, we are taking one step further. So combining these two platforms, what we're going to do is we are automating end-to-end workflow, right? Completely automated this entire the firmware updates. Plus, we are integrating that with the ITIL process, the change process. So any company change process is important, change management, right? So combining these two, end-to-end automated workflow, we'll see in a demo today. Okay. So for today in demo, so we're going to show you the missed wireless access points will upgrade from 0.10 to 0.11 version, right? The same process can be applied for switches as well. Okay? Today we'll see access points. So this is the end-to-end the workflow, right? This is developer and ServiceNow platform. So this will work with the Mist Cloud, right? If you look at all the way from top to bottom, so this is only a few things here, right? The network engineer has to create a catalog request in ServiceNow platform with all the details. Select the devices, version, all the stuff. Then it creates a change ticket, sends for approval. Once it is approved, just everything is fully automated. It does the pre-validation checks. So we run a lot of commands output, right? So before upgrading the switches or access point, we collect a lot of information from the device. Then we store it. Then perform the upgrade. Once the upgrade is done, post-validation, collect the same, all the commands output, then compare pre and post-validation, making sure the device is in a right state, right? If the post-validation is successful, that is where we call it as a upgrade is completed. Then everything is automatically closing. The change ticket, RITM, and ends the entire workflow. So here we can see this is the Mist portal, as you all know. We have 28 access points, so they're all running in 0.10 version. After the upgrade is completed, we should be seeing they're all running on 0.11 version. So the first step of this process, create a catalog request, right? So in ServiceNow platform, so we have something called Juniper firmware upgrades. Select the catalog request, and that will open a form. And they fill the form with all the device type, device model, site, devices, the current version, proposed version, and the scheduled date. So once you fill in all the details, submit a request. So this will automatically create a change request, right? So the change request, all the details what you see here, it's automatically populated from the catalog that we filled in. So once the change is created, okay, I said two things are manual, right? One is creating catalog, and second one is approval process. So here we have to do two approvals. One is the peer review. So somebody in the team, the peer has to do the approval, okay, making sure the change is good. The second one is the manager approval. So when these two approvals are done, that is where the change will move into the implementation state. So when the implementation state starts, that's where the pre-validation step starts next. So in the pre-validation steps, so as we talked, it is going to check, let's say if you have 28 devices, for every device, it is going to run a set of commands and collect that outputs, right? And store it in a ServiceNow platform in the change ticket. You will see the complete audit trail, right? At what time it is capturing information for what devices. You will see the complete audit trail of all the stuff, right? So once the pre-validation is completed, then it moves to the upgrade state. So now the upgrade started. So here you can see in the Mist Cloud portal, the access points are going through the upgrade. You can see the status of the upgrades as well, right? So once the upgrade is done, it is going to do the next step, which is the post-validation, right? Part of the post-validation, it's going to run the same set of commands, again, for every device. Collect the information, then it is going to do a comparison with the pre-validation. And the same stuff, all the data, all the complete audit trail, you will see all these steps, right, for every device. So once the post-validation is completed, then it's close the change automatically. Once the change is closed automatically, it also closes the RITM request. and notifies the engineer that your request has been completed. So this is where the workflow ends, right? Now after this done, so let's verify, let's log into the Mist Cloud and see whether those access points are really upgraded to the 0.11 version. As we see here, all the APIs that were connected before, they are running in 0.11 version. So this concludes that the upgrade is successfully upgraded using our ServiceNow platform end-to-end automated workflow. So with that, I'll pass it to Venkat. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Satish. Thanks for the demo. So this is one of the use cases. You can do a lot more automation on your network using both the platforms. Using the API with Juniper, there's a lot of things you can do. And all the integrations we are building internally will be available to our customers for free. So we'll put it as a store app, or it will be on the future release. So if you're a ServiceNow customer, take advantage of those. And so I know we went a little over time, but I just wanted to say key takeaways, right? When you're designing network, align it to your business goals. What is your business strategy? How you want to build a network? And that is very important. And the next one is, we need to build a network that actually gives the user experience. It doesn't matter how resilient it is. It doesn't matter. It's all about giving the right experience to the user. And then the third is, we want to leverage the AI and automation because I know being in the industry for a long time, you want to say, hey, can I automate it? If what breaks, it brings the whole site down. But the AI and automation has come to a state where you can actually safely do it with full success. That is what we are doing today. My team doesn't upgrade any of the APIs anymore manually. It's all automated right now. Thanks for having us. With that, let's bring the action man back.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much.